bitch! Start.
Ever touch me?
Calm down.
You like to hurt people?
What, you got a death wish, jerk off?
You like hurting people, right?
I'm gonna hurt you, you stupid prick. What are you, crazy?
What you looking at, man? Oh, you deaf, nigga? Yo, I'm talking to you, boy. Oh, where the fuck you going, man?
What? My man, where you going, baby?
Huh? Oh, you lost now? Speak up, mother.
You got some money for me?
Kill that little boy.
What is he talking about, man?
What the fuck you just say? What the fuck? I'm fucking deaf, mother. Look at me, motherfucker! Look at me! Look at me!
What you doing, man? Say fuck back! Stay back!
Huh? What you gonna do? What, you gonna shoot me?
Chill,
You
chill.
gonna do? Shut the
gun down, man. Relax.
What you gonna do, huh?
Stay the fuck back!
Shut the fuck up!
The film begins with a young Sean Donovan conversing with his mother, Mary. The narrative swiftly transitions to a harrowing incident in which Sean and his father witness a violent carjacking that culminates in his mother's tragic death before his eyes. A decade later, the trauma of that day continues to haunt him. As a result of this experience, Sean becomes a reclusive teenager who shuns friendships and responds aggressively to perceived threats. To manage his anxiety, he discreetly takes medication concealed within a bandage container, keeping it hidden from his father. Despite these challenges, Sean excels academically, showing a particular passion for subjects such as chemistry. Interactions between Sean and his father, Terry Donovan, are marked by emotional distance and coldness, reflecting the strain in their relationship since Mary's passing. Terry's attempts to restore a sense of normalcy have proven unsuccessful. One day, during a visit to his wife's grave, Terry expresses regret for not visiting sooner and shares that Sean has made a new friend and is planning to attend a party, feeling hopeful about his son's potential for emotional openness. Meanwhile, as Sean rides a train, he is suddenly overwhelmed by a flashback to his childhood, recalling the abusive behavior of his alcoholic father and the solace he found in his mother, who took him to music classes to escape their troubled home life. In the present, Sean passes by a park and observes a drug-addicted woman pleading with her dealer for an extension on her payment. After she leaves, dealers Tony and Stretch notice Sean watching them and threaten him. In a moment of confrontation, Sean accuses Tony of having killed a child. Enraged, Tony attacks him, but Sean manages to take control of the situation by seizing Tony's gun and shooting him. The narrative then shifts to Teresa Ames, a police officer grappling with personal challenges, including frequent calls from her ex-husband regarding their son. She is also immersed in a significant case involving Larry, a drug dealer accused of murdering two individuals. Despite her diligent efforts, the court unexpectedly delays Larry's hearing, allowing his attorney additional time to advocate for his release. Teresa's commendable record in the anti-crime and narcotics unit leads to her promotion to homicide detective, where she partners with Gary. Officer Bill Baldwin, who works in the same unit, is someone Sean occasionally visits to use the computer.
What the hell happened to you?
I got jumped on the train.
Later that evening, as Teresa prepares to leave the station, she encounters Sean alone at the printer. He explains his connection to Bill before departing. Intrigued, Teresa examines the document he printed and discovers the unusual term tricyclarin. She dismisses it and heads to her car, only to find that she has a flat tire. Observing her difficulty, Sean offers assistance, and they engage in conversation about her case. Recognizing her from news reports, Sean inquires whether Larry will evade justice. Teresa responds that it largely depends on the legal system and potential plea deals. After repairing the tire, she offers Sean a ride home, however, he declines, opting instead for the train. The following morning, Sean engages in boxing practice when Terry joins him, attempting to teach him how to deliver more powerful punches. Despite Terry's efforts to reconnect, Sean remains haunted by the abuse his father inflicted upon him and his mother. A flashback reveals a confrontation between a drunken Terry and Mary regarding Sean's piano lessons. When Mary defends their son, Terry reacts violently, warning her to remain silent if she wishes to stay in the house. This painful memory continues to torment Sean years later. Meanwhile, Stretch, a drug dealer, reports the murder of Tony, but there is insufficient evidence to proceed. Gary suggests that they consider dropping the case, noting that Tony was a drug-dealing pedophile with numerous enemies. However, Teresa remains unconvinced. In her inquiries about Sean, she learns that he witnessed his mother's murder 10 years prior. Sean continues to visit the police station daily with Officer Bill's permission, reviewing mugshots in hopes of identifying his mother's killer. Recognizing his determination, Teresa offers her assistance. Initially hesitant, Sean ultimately accepts her support. The narrative shifts to a prostitute who contacts her client, Joe, to inform him that she is unwell and cannot meet him. Joe reacts violently, breaking into her room and dragging her out. Sean intervenes, fighting to protect her and fatally injuring Joe in the process. The following day, Teresa and Gary investigate the scene and speak with a woman, who reveals that Joe had previously killed a 13-year-old girl but had evaded conviction. She provides only a vague description of Sean's black clothing and refuses to elaborate further, convinced that he was sent by God to save her. As they review the case, Teresa begins to suspect that the same individual may be responsible for both Tony and Joe's murders. At the morgue, she checks whether the bullets from each crime match and realizes that Joe might be the individual Sean had been searching for earlier. Curious to learn more about Sean, Teresa invites him to lunch. During their meal at a Chinese restaurant, a couple argues loudly in Chinese, and Sean surprises Teresa by fluently reprimanding them, revealing that his mother had encouraged him to learn multiple languages. When Teresa brings up his mother's case, she gently informs him that it appears to have been a random carjacking with no new leads, urging him to move on and live like a typical teenager. Frustrated, Sean questions what she would do if he actually knew the identity of the killer. Teresa insists that justice necessitates evidence and adherence to proper procedures. Her response only intensifies Sean's anger as he criticizes the system for permitting criminals like Larry to evade justice.
What do you know about my life, Teresa?
I'm just trying to help you.
What if I told you I found the killer?
Well, we would bring him in and charge him.
Sean, this is going to be really hard for you to hear because it's your mother, but the truth is that that's the way it has to be. It's called due process, and there's no way around that.
This was my mother, detective. She taught little kids music. It's not like she died in a car accident or died of cancer. She was murdered. Murdered trying to protect me. Somebody made the decision to end her life. A piece of shit walks around every day, going through it like it never happened. Due process. How'd due process work out for you in the child's case, Teresa? Scumbag kills 2 fucking people and now they're talking about tainted evidence in the witness protection program? That's your due process? No, you can keep your due process. Thanks for the egg roll.
That evening, during Bill Baldwin's retirement celebration, Teresa continues to draw connections between the murders of Tony and Joe, highlighting that both victims were killers who had evaded justice. Intrigued, she inquires about Sean, but Bill reacts sharply, accusing her of prying and instructing her to leave Sean alone.
What do you want to talk about?
Sean?
Leave him alone.
Later, as Teresa and Gary are commuting home on the train, a Chinese woman seeks assistance regarding a confrontation between 2 men. Moments prior, a drug addict had boarded the train and begun harassing a woman. Nearby, Sean applied black paint to his face and quietly advised a Chinese boy to take his mother to safety, wishing to shield the child from the impending violence. Sean then engaged the addict in a fight, quickly gaining the upper hand. When the woman alerted the authorities, they noticed a figure in black but were unable to identify him. Teresa attempted to intervene, but Sean managed to escape. Subsequently, an officer reported that the suspect had spoken Chinese to the boy before launching his attack, which confirmed Teresa's suspicion that Sean was the vigilante responsible for the murders. The following morning, Sean dreamt that Teresa was arresting him, only to awaken and realize it was not real. It was his birthday, and Terry took him to celebrate at his late mother's favorite restaurant. At the restaurant, they encountered Terry's old friend Aaron, who recognized him by his boxing nickname, Rock. Now the owner of the restaurant, Aaron reminisced about Terry's past and offered to show him some old photographs. While Terry stepped away, Aaron conversed with Sean, explaining the origin of the nickname and revealing that 10 years earlier, Terry was a heavy drinker who frequently engaged in street fights with unsavory individuals. Terry soon returned, apologizing for leaving abruptly and providing Aaron with his contact information before taking Sean to a boxing match. They enjoyed a rare opportunity for quality time together, and afterward, Terry brought Sean to the street where Mary had died. He urged his son to let go of the past and live life to its fullest. With tears in his eyes, he apologized for the pain caused by his violence and addiction, acknowledging that he could not change the past but promising to be a better father moving forward. The next day, Teresa visited Bill's home, demanding clarity regarding Sean's situation. Initially hesitant, Bill eventually allowed her inside and recounted the events from years ago. Following his mother's death, Sean was so traumatized that he was unable to cry or speak. When shown mugshots by the police, he immediately identified one man. However, when presented to Terry, he denied knowing him and reprimanded Sean for making accusations without evidence. Under pressure, Sean retracted his statement, claiming he had been mistaken. He never mentioned it again until recently when he recognized the same man's face on the news. Sean is now convinced that his mother's killer is Larry Childs, the very individual Teresa is attempting to convict. Later, Sean encounters Teresa, expressing his gratitude for her assistance and indicating his readiness to move forward. He departs with a friend to attend a party, but feeling apprehensive, Teresa follows and waits outside. During this time, Gary contacts her to inform her that Larry Childs has reached a plea deal with prosecutors, resulting in only a 2-year prison sentence before he enters witness protection, thereby evading justice for multiple murders. At the party, Sean suddenly recalls that Larry Child referred to his father as Rock on the night of his mother's death, a nickname used solely by Terry's old friends. This realization disturbs him. Shortly thereafter, Sean observes a school bully assaulting a girl. Unable to contain his anger, he confronts the bully and brutally attacks him until a friend intervenes.
Bitch!
Ever touch me?
Calm down.
You like to hurt people?
What, you got a death wish, jerk off?
You like hurting people, right?
I'm gonna hurt you, you stupid prick. What are you, crazy?
Overwhelmed by emotion, Sean rushes to Aaron's restaurant while Teresa prepares to follow. On his way, Sean mentally revisits the events of that tragic night. He recalls that after their car was rear-ended, his father stopped the vehicle, at which point Larry Child approached, exchanged words with Terry, and then shot Mary dead. These memories connect the dots between Terry and Larry's past friendship, the murder, and his father's subsequent silence. Sean breaks into Aaron's restaurant in search of evidence. By the time Teresa arrives, he has already left. As she investigates the premises, she discovers old photographs depicting Terry and Larry Childs together, which confirms Sean's suspicions. When Terry returns home, he finds the residence ransacked and promptly calls the police to report a break-in. While searching the house, he descends to the basement and finds Sean sitting there, intoxicated and furious. Sean erupts in anger, accusing his father of years of abuse and collusion with Larry Child in the murder of his mother. He believes Terry orchestrated the killing to collect on her life insurance policy and alleviate his debts. Terry struggles to defend himself, acknowledging his acquaintance with Larry but asserting that Sean has misinterpreted the events of that night. Sean insists that the killer referred to him as Rock, which he views as evidence of their connection, but Terry denies it. Overcome with rage and feelings of betrayal, Sean raises a gun and fatally shoots his father in the chest.
I'm sorry, I can't believe you.
Moments later, Teresa arrives and confronts him. Sean accuses Terry of hiring Larry Childs to kill Mary, with the gun still resting on the table. In desperation, he pleads with Teresa for assistance. Recognizing that the justice system may not always provide true justice, she quietly takes the gun and disposes of it in the river, effectively covering up the crime. Some time later, Sean writes a letter to Larry Childs, who is now serving his brief prison sentence. Instead of expressing anger, he extends forgiveness in hopes of alleviating both their burdens. He requests the truth regarding his father's involvement in his mother's murder and includes 2 stamps with specific instructions: use a black one if Terry was guilty or a red one if he was innocent. Manipulatively, Larry returns the letter with a red stamp, falsely claiming Terry's innocence. However, Sean anticipated this deceit. He had coated the stamp's glue with tricelerin, the same lethal poison from earlier. When Larry licked it, he experienced a swollen throat and subsequently suffocated to death. In the end, the truth remains elusive, Whether Terry was innocent or guilty is left unanswered, leaving both Sean and the audience ensnared in a state of uncertainty. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.